Okay, everyone, Shipper 1000 here. I gotta check something out on this trailer for a friend of mine, and yeah. Okay, the friend is Monkey. All right, we'll talk about it here in a minute. Stick around, guys. Okay guys, so we bought a pop-up. Well, most of you guys know that we've been kind of keeping our eyes out last couple of years, because about 2 years ago I promised Monkey, yeah, because you know, health conditions and stuff, we need to get a cheap pop-up. Well, that last trip camping, she was like, that's it. Hey, you've been promising. I said, all right. So found this one. I got some stories to tell you about getting this one. Not this particular one. This was pretty cut and dry. Guy still had it. We went and bought it. A couple little issues here. There's something here. I'm gonna need to patch that. He's patched these, but I'm gonna need to do some patch work on it. And then what I've done before, I had one of these Colemans before. I sprayed white spraying bed liner on it. But yeah, so I mean, it's a 1982 Coleman. Everything works on it. Air conditioner works. They had just plugged it in when we got there, but didn't feel like it was real cold. But you can buy those pretty reasonable, because it's got new wheels and tires on it. The bearings have been greased recently when he did the wheels and tires. So I don't have to worry about them for a while. But what I'm going to do is I'll pull them caps off and put bearing buddies in them. And that makes it so you can just, the cap that goes on, it's like what our boat's got over here. So you don't have to pop that cap off every time you want to grease them. It's these. You just pull this rubber part off, and that tire's not flat, it's just sinking in the ground. And there's a grease fitting there, and you just shoot a couple squirts of grease in it about every 1,000 miles or so. But we're going to pop this up. That's original. So yeah, the lights work. I had to do this because this has a 7-way plug, and of course our vehicles are 4-way flat. So we stopped to get this home because it's about 50, well, we'll just say an hour drive. So we could plug, so I bought this so I could plug this into our 4-way to make it to a 7-way, so all the lights would work. So I'll get you on a stand and I'll get this popped up for you. Oh, I got the crank in the car. Crank goes there. It does have a key for it. The awning, I guess, is fine. It's just this cover. You know, like I said, it's got a rip here, but the awning is fine, so I'm not worried about that cover part. Like I said, this thing is 43 years old, and it's up underneath of it is mint. I mean, it's a little dirty, but it's not had any rot or anything. So let me get you on a tripod. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make it somewhat level. It does have stabilizers under it on all 4 corners, but I'm just going to make it somewhat level. I just want to set it up for tonight and check it out. That's pretty close. I'm going to get some stick-on bubble levels and put them on there. That way it'll be easier. But right now, like I said, I'm just going to I want to get it popped up, and we'll get the stabilizers down. So you just got to go around the 4 corners here, unbuckle them. I gotta go get the crank. It's in the car. Hang on. Okay guys, so I'll speed you up through this because it's gonna be me cranking it up. Now that's not all the way. I'm gonna let Bruno in, and I'm gonna go get cooled down a minute. That's cranking up a lot easier than some of the ones I've had. So, but that's it. That little thing down here, because the newer ones have worm gears, and wherever you put the crank, it'll stay. These ones didn't. So you just got that little hook. You hook on there, and it keeps it from falling back down. So. Let me get that cranked up. He wants back in. Okay guys, again, I'll speed you up. Now I'm going to do the same on the back. Okay, let's open this up. Original key. There we go. Our refrigerator he gave to us. Now, inside, I just got to lift those bars up. Back there. I'm going to do the same thing in the back. Oh, hey guys, come on in, check this out. Okay guys, so here we are. We're not going to have lights tonight. These do work. He showed me they work, all the outlets work. I don't have the I don't have the 30 amp adapter. So, but he did install that light. That light. There's a light down here. But yes, they will work. But like I said, I don't have the adapter. It does have the water. It does pump up. I'm gonna put that on the battery. This works, and it's got a full tank of fuel. Not sure what that's for. It's got a little porta potty here, but we have one of those, a brand new one in the garage. I'll replace that. Needs a little work. Like I said, it's 43 years old, you know. So underneath of the floor seems fine. It seems like there may be a little soft spot here I'm not concerned about. For $1,500, hey, I'm good with it. So let's see, I think this is a queen, and that's a double bed, and then this will sleep two here, so it can sleep six. This unlatches and folds down there, so when you drop the top on it, you know, it's out of the way. But it's blowing pretty cold air now. I mean, it's not new, but it is blowing cold air. He had it on fan only. But down under here, there's water jugs for fresh water down under there. A couple small propane tanks. But there's storage under here. We got back under there, you probably can't see it. We have like our little fuse panel box right back there. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. I don't have the levers out yet because I don't want to lay on the ground. But I think we're gonna sleep in this tonight. So yeah, seems to, this locks, works fine. Down under there, that's where your crank goes, and that bar that's there is to lower the stabilizers. I might do that. He also he's got these on the outside. He's got one on each corner. So, but yeah, there is an outlet here for gas that you can see there would have been like a tabletop you put here and a stove, like a camping stove or whatever, to cook outside, which I will make something like that up. But yeah, guy wanted 17. He said our best offer, let me have it for 50. I could have got it for cheaper than 15 because he said, well, because I asked him, you know, what it'd take. He said, well, I got 17 on it. He said, I could come down to 15 if that's not too much, or what was you thinking? I said, look, dude, I'll give you 1,500 for it, because like I said, I'll tell you some stories later on about trying to find one of these. So, alright guys, I'll be back with you in a minute. I'm gonna go get a drink. Okay, so we're set up. I'm in here kicking it. This is just that light back there, that light up there, and then Monkey bought a new fan that's got light on it, so it's pretty cool. It oscillates and stuff. I'll show that to you in a little bit, but I'll tell you my little story. It cooled down in here pretty good. I'll turn that off for a couple minutes. That way you can hear me. I still haven't put the outriggers out yet, but I don't think I'm going to need them in here by myself. But, so the story about this thing is, heard something. So, like I said before, we've been kind of glancing over them and stuff. Well, since the last camping trip, Monkey's been on it pretty hard. Looking on Marketplace. We found one last weekend. This is Sunday, so not yesterday, but last Saturday. Well, Friday night. Sent the guy a message and blah, blah, blah. It's still available, you know. Can we come and look at it tomorrow? Yes, I'm available tomorrow to come and look at it. It was 2 hours away. 2 hours and 6 minutes, actually. So she said, you know, we're going to be driving 2 hours to get there. And he said, yeah, that's fine. What time are you going to be there? She asked me. I said, well, let him know we're going to be there about noon. Okay, cool. So next day we let him know we're leaving. It was leaving at 10 o'clock. We're leaving now. We're on our way. Okay, that's fine. Well, it took him a little bit to get back a hold of me. This time now I'm messaging through her phone. And he said, okay, you know, no problem. Just let me know about what time you'll be here. And we only had 41 minutes left to go. I said, well, GPS is saying we got 41 minutes. That should put us there at 12:06. Fine, no problem. I'll see you when you get here. I'll be at the gate in a white truck. No problem. So, we get there a little early. It's 12:03. We're coming through this parking lot. See a little blue car pulling our camper out the gate and up the road and turned onto the road. What the hell? And then we see a white pickup truck following him, hauling ass, getting the hell out of there. So I messaged him immediately. It took him a couple minutes to get back to me because I said, hey, we're here. What's going on, you know? We're here. We got cash. Because he asked if we had cash. Yes. Oh, sorry. It's sold. I went off on him. We both turned him in to Facebook Marketplace because you can turn it in, you know, to where, like, if, you know, like, it's already sold when you get there, because they don't like that, you know. I was mad. I said, you owe me money, dude. He wouldn't respond back after that. You owe me money. You know, you owe me for my time, you owe me for my gas. That was a 4-hour wasted trip last Saturday. Jeez. So we went and looked at another one, and it was junk. So anyway, we went and looked at another one, and it was okay. It was alright. But the guy didn't want to come down on the price, really. And I was like, I ended up passing on it anyway. But nice guy, but it was just, you know, he didn't want to come lower than $2,000. It's just not a $2,000 camper, you know. It's not. It needs tires, and, you know, and it did. One of them was flat, and it just, you know, you knew it wasn't even going to hold air. So, which I had tires to fit it, wheels and tires that were spares from the boat when we bought the boat. Because before we bought the boat, the guy put new wheels and tires on it. The ones he took off were fine, but he just didn't know how old they were, so he put new ones on it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So she finds another one, and I said, yeah, that looks good, because I wasn't feeling good, and I kind of slept in Friday, I think it was. Anyway, it ended up selling, so no problem, you know. So she finds another one, and they had it on, it wasn't actually Marketplace, it was an ad on Marketplace. A big dealership called Jayco. They're kind of in some kind of correspondence with Camping World. So I was like, cool, we got a dealership, you know. Get a hold of them and ask them, you know, if it's still there and stuff. This was yesterday morning. Saturday morning, she calls them. Because we saw it Friday night. And I said, well, they're not going to be open, but we'll call them in the morning. So we called them. They opened at 9. We called them. She called at 9:01. Yeah, we still got the camper. It's there. Would you like to come look at it? Sure. She tells them, you know, we're like almost an hour away from you. Which it is. It was like 47 minutes. You know, what time you got available? They said, well, you know, how about 11 o'clock? Monkey said, we'll be there at 11. Well, we walked into the place at 11:01. We go up to the counter, the woman that greets you, and we tell her what we're there for, and she's like, oh, hang on a second. I think they're showing it to somebody. And I said, what? We have an appointment. I think so, hang on. So the general manager comes out. He said, yeah, they're back, they're showing it to someone. I just went off. I said, are you fucking kidding me? Because I said, let me tell you what happened last week. And I told him the story. I said, it's not happening this week. And he was like, and he asked that woman, he said, what time was their appointment? And she said, the people that's back there looking at it? He said, yeah. She said 11:30. And I said, why the hell is it, at that time it was like 11:04. Why the hell, we got an appointment at 11 o'clock, we're here at 11:01. If their appointment's not till 11:30, how are they back there looking at it? Because he said, yeah, you're going to have to wait a few minutes until, and they was having some kind of promotional cookout. Go get you a free hot dog. I said, I didn't come here to get a fucking hot dog. I came here to buy a damn camper. What are we going to do about this, you know? And he said, well, wait a minute. Let me go back and talk to him. I said, I want to talk to the salesman who talked to Monkey, you know, who talked to my fiance. Well, he's kind of busy right now. Let me go back and see what's going on. He come back in just a couple minutes. He come back out and said, come back here in my little office, which is just a little cubicle thing. I said, okay. I said, let's talk. He says, well, I see your frustration, and, you know, because they had dropped it. It was like $2,500. They dropped it down to $2,000. Then they dropped it down to $999, $1,000. And you can see in the pictures, it looked decent, you know, but it needed tires. One of the tires was flat, and they were dry rotted. You could see them in the pictures. When I, you know, blew the pictures up, you could see they were cracked. And he said, if you guys are interested in that, what we can do, he says, I'll run your car. We can run your car for $500, and that'll put a hold on it. And I can tell them it just sold sight unseen. I said, well, number one, that's not fair to them. I said, number two, you're not running my card. We're paying cash. He said, yeah, but if you decide you don't want it, you can get your money back. I said, yeah, after 10 days, and you're still going to charge that card. You're still going to make money off me for doing nothing. I said, no, we're here to pay cash, you know. I said, before we go any further, I said, I ain't going to give you what you want for it anyway, you know. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I said, well, I'm telling you straight up, before I waste anybody else's time, I'm not going to give you what you want, give you $1,000 for it anyway. He said, well, that's $2,000. Monkey said, no, nope, the price has dropped. He said, well, hang on. He tip on his damn computer. You're right here, $9.99. You're right. I said, you know, I still ain't gonna give you $1,000 for it. I said, because he said, well, they're back there picking it apart. And I said, well, as they should. He said, but it's only $1,000. And he says, it needs nothing. Tow it out of here and go camping. I said, you can't. The tires are bad. Did you not see them? Well, yeah, but that's minor. I said, we couldn't tow it home, which he didn't know, but I brought tires, a jack, a four-way, and everything. I was just going to replace them right there. And I said, no. I said, I think we'll pass, because I said, I wouldn't give you $1,000 for it anyway. He said, well, you ain't going to get it for less than $1,000. I said, well, you ain't going to waste no more of my fucking time, dude. You know, he said, I don't think you know how this works. I said, no, I don't think you know how it works as a general manager. First of all, you don't treat your customers this way. And I said, second of all, you know, I got up and we started walking out. And I said, and everybody in here knows, and I said it loud enough for everybody to hear, you don't give asking price for anything. I said, you guys don't give asking prices for your trade-ins. Why the hell do you want me to give you asking price? You know, I said, no, I'm not dealing with this shit. Well, now, wait a minute. No, I know. No, you're not going to tell me, yeah, I ain't getting it. What, is that a threat? Like, I give a shit? Like I'm homeless and I need it right now? Screw you. You know, you done screwed us over. You got somebody back there looking at it, you know, that wasn't even supposed to be here for another 20 minutes. You know, and you let them come in first because they're here early. You should have told them straight up, look, no, we got somebody coming at 11. You're going to have to wait in line. And this is a big dealership. I said, no, I ain't dealing with it. So twice it got sold. Well, I don't know if they bought it, but it didn't sound like they were going to. So he might have actually lost 2 sales yesterday. I said, no, we got the hell out of there. Well, we found this one. I found it this morning. He had just posted it late last night. And I got a hold of him. And, you know, my name's Marty, you know, blah, blah, blah. Wondering if your camper was still available. He said, yes, you interested? I said, yes, very interested. He said, would you like to come and take a look at it sometime? I said, absolutely. I said, will you be available this afternoon? He says, I'm in Gainesville right now. But he says, I won't be here too long. I'll be back this afternoon. If you want, I can get a hold of you, you know, when we get back into town. Because we bought this in Ocala. We're, you know, about an hour away. And to where we had to go. So, sure enough, he calls. Well, I missed his call, but only by like 30 seconds. So like, oh. And he sent me a message and said, I just tried to call you because I gave him my number and stuff. I said, yeah, sorry, I missed it. You want me to call you? He said, yeah. So I called and I talked to his wife because they were still in the truck. He was driving. And she said, we just want to let you know we're about 10 minutes from the house where the camper is. You know, I said, okay. I said, well, listen, we're going to leave in about 10 minutes because Monkey had a couple things to do. I said, we're getting ready to leave. Do you have anybody else in front of us coming to look at that thing? And I said, if not, we'll leave now. And I'll tell you why I asked that when we get there. She said, no, nobody's coming to look at it, you know. We'll hold it for you guys. I said, good, that's what I want to hear. So when we got there, of course, I told him the whole story. I looked this thing over and everything. And like I said, it's an 82. And it shows, but I mean, it's clean. It doesn't smell musty, moldy. It doesn't smell like an old camper, you know. It smells fine in here. So I looked it over, and like I said, I was talking to him about it, and I got it for $1,500. I could have got it lower, but I thought, man, $1,500, I'm not going to complain. It's the bigger one. So, yeah, it's decent. He threw in the refrigerator. I didn't know it came with it. He had it sitting in his garage. He said, before I forget, we need to put this in there, unless you want to put it in your car. But he said, this goes with it. I said, oh, cool. He said, yeah. He said, I just took it out because, you know, we were in Gainesville, so we weren't home. I locked it up in the garage. So, and they had the camper, you know, all set up and everything. So he said, I didn't want somebody reaching in and grabbing it. So we got this. And I was looking a little bit ago in that bottom drawer over there, there was an envelope. And I knew it was old. Opened it up, and it's got all the paperwork, all the instructions on how to use the stove, the instructions on how to change your gas bottle up front, instructions on how to set this up, instructions on how to do the awning, the warranty, and he even threw the warranty for the tires in there too. And it also had, which I had seen it, but it also has operating manual and warranty manual for a toaster oven, which is down there. I seen it down there. And there's a couple of those green propane tanks underneath the seat. There's two half bags of charcoal under here. So I'm very pleased with it. But yeah, it's got all the original paperwork from 1982 when this was new. I mean, that's rare for a car, let alone an old camper like this. So I'm very pleased with the purchase. But that's a story on how we got this one. So like Monkey said, God said, no, you guys don't need them other ones. There might have been something wrong. You know, I might have overlooked something. Because, you know, we looked at one. We were supposed to look at three. But it was just like this was meant to be, you know. So that's a story on it. I brought a TV out of the garage, smart TV. So I'm going to go in, get my shower. I'm going to come out. We're going to have supper, but I'm not going to cook because it's just too hot. I did check that. I did turn the gas on. All the burners worked. So, and then I'm going to try an MRE that I was supposed to do camping that I never got to do. So we're going to try that before I go to sleep. I got to go to the dentist tomorrow again, which they probably won't pull it tomorrow. I figure they'll just do x-rays. But yeah, so, but yeah, I'll kick you guys back on in a minute. I'm going to kick this air back on. It keeps it nice and cool in here. And then, yeah, but I like it. And, you know, we'll talk more about it. And we'll take it camping and stuff. It pulls behind our Chevy just like it's not even there. That Chevy pulled it no problem. We had it up to 60 miles an hour, no sway, no bouncing, none of this, you know, when you're slowing down or taking off. It just pulled it like a dream. So yeah, you don't even really know it's back there. So that's cool. Yeah. Monkey's daughter's here. She came stay a couple nights this weekend, so brought the baby out again, and so that's pretty cool. So she got to take her back tomorrow, which is not far from where the camper, where we bought the camper, because the other three, well, the one we looked at and then the other two we were supposed to look at, they all three of those had 2-inch ball hitch. So I changed from 1 7/8 onto our hitch. I put a 2-inch on. And I wasn't thinking. Well, I thought about it after we was almost there today. I thought, that's an 82. That's probably got an 1 7/8 ball, and I didn't have. I had the ball with me, but I didn't bring a pipe wrench or crescent wrench to change it. So he let me borrow his insert, which has a 2-inch and an 1 7/8 on it. So he let me borrow it. She's going to drop it off to him tomorrow. He says, well, here, just take this and drop it off to me sometime. Here, use my hitch. I don't need it right now. Just bring it back in a week or two. I said, well, she's got to come in town tomorrow. So I said, she can drop it off tomorrow afternoon. He said, yeah, that's fine. If I'm not here, just set it there by the garage door. I'll see it. So that was cool. So both of our boats and this will take the 1 7/8 ball. So that's pretty cool. So I haven't tried the refrigerator yet, but they said it worked. So, I mean, I believe him. He hasn't lied about anything. He was honest about everything, you know, on this camper. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna go get a shower. We'll kick this on. I'll come back out and we'll do an MRE review. Okay guys, we're back. I had my shower. Like I said, yeah, I gotta go to the dentist tomorrow. But let's check this. Monkey's out here with me. She's behind the camera. Say hi, Monk.
Hi, everyone.
So, she came out to visit for a little bit. So, we're going to open this up. Alright. I got, this is what it is, Monk. Sweet and sour sauce with rice and chicken. It's a galley nipper, it's fine. Sweet and sour sauce with rice and chicken. I don't know if she heard that or not.
Yes, I heard it.
So she
Yes,
didn't
I
acknowledge
heard.
me.
I do acknowledge
So she's afraid of a galley nipper, guys.
I'm not. Thank you.
There, gone. Problem solved.
Thank you.
So this must be the main course. Sorry I gotta have the air on, but it's just hot. It's been over 100 degrees all weekend, every day.
Yeah.
And that's not real feel. I don't know what the real feel's been, but it's been 100 degrees. Banana apple smoothie. Did you have that? You didn't like it, did you? Okay.
Does it say puree on it?
No, it's just apple smoothie. Banana apple smoothie.
Yeah, mine says puree on it.
I'll probably give this to Monkey. I think, what's this, crackers of some sort? High protein. Oh, this is a cereal bar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That might be good. You might like that.
And we got our spork here, and salt, and pepper. Something else there. I'm not sure what else is there. And then we got our, these things, guys. If you've ever seen anybody do them or you've done them, yeah, 50-50 chance that it'll work or it won't. So, it says, tear here to use, and then, you know, you fill the water, remove meal, and paperboard sleeve, save sleeve and use during heating process, tear open heater bag, and at top arrow, it's up here, insert the unopened meal pouch into the bag, which is this one. Then you add the water. You add water to this line in between those two lines. Do not overfill. Like I said, you got a 50-50 shot a month.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you fold it up and put it in this, and then you set it like at an angle, and then you leave it set for, after about 12 minutes the meal is ready to eat. So let's rip that way. So alright, I want to mix this up first. Whoa. And Bruno had to come out, of course. I was bringing in an extension cord because, like I said, I got to get that adapter for an RV adapter, you know, 30 amp adapter. So I just ran the extension cord through there. I was out there over here at this window. I looked up and Bruno was standing here on the table looking out like, what are you doing, Dad? Standing on the table. That was cute. I said, you find you a perch? So, hang on, guys. Sorry about that. So, just gonna put this in here. Then we're gonna pour water in here. Brought some water out. It doesn't take much, but Then it says fold this over like that. How long did it take yours to start? Hers worked.
It got hot as soon as I poured the water in, but I put the water in first and then I put the thing.
Well, you're supposed to put the thing in first.
Yeah.
Because let me finish. Because if you don't, then when you put the thing in, it'll be too much water. All right, guys, I'm gonna set this in this pouch.
You hold it for you?
I got it. All right. I think you're supposed to bend this over like that.
I don't know.
Use this to contain meal pouch and heater bag during the heating. So looks like it goes like this. And mine's not getting hot at all. Damn it. Go figure. And then just like set it at an angle, and that's what I'm going to do right there. And I'll be back with you guys if this heats up. Okay guys, so it did finally, at first it didn't start heating up until like, what, 7 minutes in?
Yeah.
I threw it over there on the thing. It's like I'm done with it, and I picked it up. I was like, oh, it's starting to get hot. So I let it get hot for a while, and then I flipped it over. So it's been about 17 minutes. So. But it did get hot.
Yeah, it was slower than the one I had.
Yeah. Yeah, yours started getting warm as soon as you poured the water in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not hot. I mean, I can feel this corner because it started cooling down, you know, but we're going to do this, get it all mixed up. Let's see. There it is, this side. All right. Let's get our spork out here. Go ahead and open this up. Smells nice. Smells pretty good. Of course, they never look great, guys, but remember, this is what our men and women on the front lines are eating every day. And then some people sit and complain about, oh, this sucks and whatnot. But remember, these are you know, for sustainable stuff. You know, if you're stuck out in the wilderness, you know, would you rather have this or that, you know? So let me give it a taste here. Monkey don't want to be on camera because she's in her 90. And I got a battery going low. Great.
It's hot.
Might be. I thought I'd seen something earlier. Let me try it, Monk. I mean, it's okay. Like I said, it gives you more respect for, you know, our troops. But it's not bad. I mean, it'd be better if it was hotter, but still, like I said, at times this would be better than nothing.
Tastes like it has some kind of orange.
Tastes a little citrusy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
What do you think?
About that.
About that? Yeah. Still, the best one so far was the Ravenoli's, huh?
Yeah.
Monkey loved
years
that.
Ago, yeah.
But it was an actual MRE. I gotta change your battery. Okay, I got your... This battery's not fully charged. About 3/4 charged. I got an hour and 3 minutes on it. It should be like 2.5 hours. So, Monkey's already tried this, so I think she wants to try the cereal bar next. Yeah, okay. So let's open this cereal bar up. I don't know if they can see him or not.
I don't think so.
He's over there begging. Oh no, you can't have this. This has got chocolate in it. I'll give you some of my food. It's just him. That's good. Reminds me, what's it remind me of? A type of cereal I used to eat when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Cocoa Krispies. The chocolate Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try this. Monkey didn't like hers. You didn't mix it either, though.
All I did, I mixed it. I did not like it. It was a puree, that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, but again, like I said, these ain't, you know, 5-star meals here.
Yeah, well, I'm not expecting it to be.
Ugh.
I know, I think you had to open mine.
Yeah, there it is, I think. See, this is not bad to me. Try it.
I already have it.
Try it.
I was disappointed.
I like it. The meal, yeah, it's okay. I just wish they had better stuff for our men and women, you know.
I think we should. Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to sit here and finish this. I'll probably share this with Monkey. I wish I could turn you around. And I'm going to share my food with Bruno. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
You hungry? Okay. Alright, guys. I'll be back with you. Okay, guys, so finished my meal. I'm going to watch some YouTube. And Monkey took Bruno in so he could get some water because I shared my supper with him. And wow. Okay, so this battery, 19. It's down to 19 minutes. I just changed it. So I had to bring me two. I got another one here. But so yeah, we were just discussing that. That air conditioner is working fine. It's 43 years old, but it's 43 years old. So we might go ahead and upgrade that and put a new one in it. And this camper don't have a heater. It didn't come with one. It don't have a furnace. But so I'm thinking it's working fine here in the yard, right? So, but what if we get out somewhere on a 4 or 5 day camping trip and it starts raining and getting muggy? That'll be the time that thing will puke out on me, like the second day, and you know, we'd be stuck in a hot camper. So I think our best bet would be go ahead and upgrade it now, because like I said, it's working fine. So you can get for under 600 bucks, you can get the ones with the heaters in them too.
or I can just get pretty much what that is, brand new, for around $169, but it don't have a heat. We don't need a heater. I mean, we got the little buddy heater, and we can get the bigger one. I can plumb it right into the propane tank, you know. But so I'm not sure, but I think as I'm sitting here, I am fine. It's nice in here. It's nice and cool in here, but I can't get that out of my head. It's 43 years old. So, you know how air conditioners are. You shut them off one day, turn them on the next, and they don't want to kick on. So I think that would be a wise move. So, yeah, I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. So, yeah, I'm gonna hang out. I think Monkey's coming back out for a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna watch some YouTube. I'll kick you guys back on before I go to sleep. I gotta get up kind of early tomorrow, but I don't have to be there until like 10 or 10:30, and it's here in town, so I might just do my outro tomorrow after I get back. That way, when it's nice and bright out, I can show you guys more of the camper a little better. And let me see, I was going to stop and get something on the way back tomorrow, and I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be nice. We don't have tags on it yet, but her birthday's coming up August the 31st, so she's got to get licensed and stuff for other things, so she's just going to do it then. And you know, we can get it for a couple years on this camper, so she's going to get the title and everything done then. So, but in the meantime, you know, I'll get it cleaned up. I mean, it's pretty clean, but you know, do our cleaning, we'll get it cleaned up and everything, and I'll go over it, and I'll get that adapter for the plug so we can check, make sure. I'm sure the guy's honest, but he said all the electric, I know the lights work because he had them turned on, and he had a phone charger plugged in here somewhere, and it was charging these phones, so I do know at least one outlet works, and both of the lights work, so that's good. Just do some checking and stuff like that. But all right, guys, I'll be back with you in a second. Hang tight. Okay, guys, I'm in for the night. Just got this new light Monkey bought from Temu. It's similar to the other ones, but it oscillates, and of course it has different speeds, and that one has a remote control, so that's pretty cool. Haven't used the remote control yet because this will be just sitting right here. I got the TV up here. I'm in the back section, so I got my TV up there. I can watch some YouTube, and let me see. Yeah, that's about it. So I only brought one pillow out. I brought my mummy bag. I'm not going to need it. I turned the air conditioner down to low. I may end up shutting it off and opening this up, because right on the other side of here is a screen. Got a screen there, but so yeah. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to just kick back. I got to turn that TV a little bit more. Now I think I'll be all set. Alright, guys, so I'll catch you in the AM. Unless something weird happens, then I'll kick you back on. Alright? Okay, guys, so of course this next day I went to the dentist and all that. I went in the house about 7:30 this morning, but this was fine. Yeah, everything was good. I ended up shutting that air conditioner off last night. First I turned it down to low, and then I was still getting chilly. So I'd still like to upgrade that, but man, the cheapest I can find as an upgrade is like $1,100. And I don't want to go with the 12-volt ones, but yeah, like I said, the camper needs a little work. I'm not, you know, anything that needs done, I'm not concerned about. I did have to go pick this up. I think I was mentioning this. It goes from 15 amp, plugs into the 30 amp, and I'll show you why I need this. But
And also, think I found out this does down under there. It's got a converter, and I'm wondering why it's got a 7-way plug on here for the trailer lights and stuff, because it does not have trailer brakes. Why would they need a 7-way plug? And then I got to thinking, wait a minute, because one of the wires in that 7-way plug is a charge line. What you do when you hook them 7 ways up, you run a wire from your battery, your positive wire from your positive cable on your battery, you run it back to one of those wires there, and it charges a battery. Now, I don't see a battery box here, but I do see some wires. But anyway, see, this is, I just got run in just so I could run the TV. That's all it's plugged into it. This is the air conditioner. The reason why I plugged it into that is because in this, okay, let's start with this. This is going to plug into here, right? Because see that? You can't plug that into your house. So you need this adapter. It was $4 and something. Now, you cannot, because this goes from 15 amp to 30 amp. So you cannot run your air conditioner. You can run everything else with this plugged in your house, but all our everything in our house is 15 amp. So now that's why that's plugged into something different. Okay, that's the air conditioner. Now this is called shore power. If we're at a campsite and we have this plugged directly into the power, then the gray cord for the air conditioner can plug in inside. There's a special plug for it on the inside. But if you do that running this thing will melt or it'll pop a breaker. So that's why I needed this, so you know I can make sure the lights and everything work on it. And so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. This is for your water, for you know, your city water they call it. You just hook your hose up to that. That's for your sink. So, but yeah, I'm going to do some checking on this. So it's got a converter, so there should be wires, and here we go, for a battery. Right there it is. So there should have been a battery box up here at one time. Yeah, this is it. I do believe this is it. So I'll do some checking with that. Here's the 7-way plug, and there's your 4-way. This is 7-way. Like I said, one will run your brakes. This trailer don't have brakes. And one of these, you got your ground, but one of these run for your trailer brakes. I think it's the blue one. And then the other one is a maintainer line or a charge line. So like if you're running down the road and you have this plugged in, your vehicle will actually be charging the battery that I'm going to end up putting up here anyway. Now, you know, you won't, on your battery you won't be able to run air conditioner, but that's okay. You can run your lights and stuff like that with it. So yeah, I'm just trying to find a place where a battery box would have been mounted on this thing. So, but I will mount a battery box on here, and so I believe that's what this is for. We'll probably run up into the frame and then up into the cabin there somewhere, but I'll do some checking on that later. But yeah, so full tank of Rhino, 15-pound tank. Got 2 20-pounds out back. So yeah, I'm going to plug this in, and I'll plug this in, plug this into this, then I'll plug this in to the extension cord, and we'll check the well, I know the lights work, but, and I'm pretty sure he had a phone charger and one of these plugged in, but yeah, so yeah, just do some checking. Like I said, I know that light works right there, and I know that one works. So alright guys, and sure enough, plugged it in and they're both on. this, I will replace this one. It won't shut off. I will replace that. I'll probably just replace both of these. These things are cheap, guys. But these are the originals. Don't need that on right now. Let me see. Sometimes they have a... This one don't, but I'm going to put a receptacle right down in there. There's one there. Let's plug this TV in over here. See if this receptacle works. Oops, sorry. Alright. Yeah, it works because the night light's on. But let's kick this on. And there we go. Awesome. Cool. Okay, guys. We'll move this TV. A couple things I want to check out here. Of course, it's going to need to be mopped. So, but yeah. Let's plug this refrigerator in. It kicked on. I hear it. It's running. Okay. All right. We'll let that run for a little bit. I'm going to turn the air on. It's getting hot in here. And I'll be back with you guys. Yeah. So far, so good. Okay, guys. So, you know, I get headaches sometimes because I think about a lot of things that I don't even know why I think about them. Just stuff comes to me, right? So I'm thinking, right? I'm going to put a 12-volt battery up here, right? So, you know, I have battery power when we don't have shore power available. Like when we go out to the river or, you know, any place like that where there's no power. So I'm going to have battery. Hang on. So I was thinking, this hand crank, it cranks easy enough for sure. It's not a big deal, right? But what if, now hear me out, wrap your mind around this. I go online and I buy me a wiper motor out of a car and I hook it up to that. And I make this thing to where I can remove it if I have to. So if my battery's dead, wiper motor goes out or whatever, I can still use my crank. But I put a 3-pole switch on it. You know, 2 ons and an off. You know, the center pole is off. Up makes it run one way, down makes it run the other way. Right? So I flip it up and it turns that. And it raises the camper up, right? And those things, you cannot turn them without power. So I don't have to lock it in down there. It'll stay up. And then when I get ready to put it down, flip the switch down, it comes down. And they're not fast. They're kind of slow, which is good in this situation. What do you guys think? Huh? You know, it's I'm always thinking of stuff, but I thought that would be so cool. Because, you know, Monkey wants me to make things easier on myself. See, there's like a dent here, but it doesn't leak. Someone has sealed it back up. It's fine. It's 43 years old for the 43rd time. Okay? But, so, I don't know if this canvas is original. If it is, it's amazing. Of course, you're going to get that. That's from this here. That's just dirt. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think that'd be an excellent idea. Not, you know, today, but, you know, sometime when I'm doing nothing. And, you know, rainy day or something, I have a wiper motor sitting around. Back it in there or whatever, and, yeah, make this power. I don't know why I couldn't do that. I may get this out today. The awning. Check it. He said it's good. It's just the bag, because they don't make these awnings anymore. It's just the bag that's ripped there. I'm not real concerned about that. I could sew it if I wanted to, but it can't fall out. I mean, you know, unless it ripped all the way across there, but I don't see that happening. So I may whip that out here. Now I'm not sure if this, some of these, you had three, you had one on the left, one on the right, and one in about the center area. And I can't remember if this is the one, because I'm not sure if that's 10 or 12 foot, but I thought the 10 and 12 foots in the 80s had the three, but it's not a big deal. So I may check that out later, and I'll bring you with me. And yeah, so I thought, you know, I'd ask you guys what you think, because I ran it by Monkey, and she just, because I told her I had a brainstorm, I had something in my head, and she said, oh God. I said, now hear me out, right? And she said, well, yeah, that'd be kind of a good idea, I think. And like I said, I'll make it, you know, to where it slides on. Follow what I'm saying? It'll slide on there. And that way, if the battery's dead or something happens with the wiring, the switch goes bad, whatever, and it don't want to work, I can just pop that off of there, manually crank it. So I've got a backup. You know, I've got a backup. That's cool. And that crank goes down under there. And that bar there is for the, a lot of guys will call them jacks. They're really just stabilizers. There's one on each corner. I don't have them down because it was just me in there. Yeah, I think it might be all right. But I crawled under there yesterday and looked at it good. The frame's good, the axle's good, everything's fine. So floor's good. It feels like there's a weak spot back here, but underneath there, it looks fine, you know. But for what we gave for it, I told you $1,500. We went and looked at one $1,700. They didn't even have it raised up, and they wasn't interested in raising it up. This whole back piece was out, pulled out. The wood was rotted. Same way with on the top, they had duct tape across the top where this would have been. No, it wasn't. I think it was a Jayco. But anyway, like right from here, that corner was pulled out, and right through here they had duct tape on there, and you could tell it had a fresh paint job with a brush, and they just painted over the duct tape. And I was like, nope. No, I'll pass on it, dude. And he wanted $1,700 for it, and they dropped the price from $25 down to $17. I'm like, man, people are crazy on the price of some of these idiots. You know, that's a $1,500 trailer all day long, and I gave him $1,500 for it. I probably could have got it for 14, 13, 14, easy. But I was like, no, 15's fair. I'll give you 15 for it. Now, if it didn't have new wheels and tires, I would have chalked him down to around 1,300. But I was like, yeah, and the spare's fine. It's in beautiful condition. Yeah, I gave him the 15. But you know, just some people just, yeah, it's a $1,500. They gave $2,500 for it, is what they were telling us. They gave $2,500 for that. I mean, he already took $1,000. I was like, took $1,000 loss on it. And you know, it's got the original lock in it, so that's cool. You know, for that little step, which becomes a side door once you fold it up. I think you guys saw me taking that down. Yeah, so it's a Pioneer Chesapeake by Coleman, but it's a Coleman Pioneer Chesapeake by Coleman. That's the Coleman symbol. Fleetwood. And we got some kind of sticker on here. State of Florida. I don't know what that is. I got my glasses. Let's see. Let's see what this is. Do not remove. Division Motor Vehicles. That's a safety inspection sticker. Cool. I don't know what year it is. But yeah, awesome. All right. Okay, guys. I just wanted to run that by you and see what you guys thought about it. I got the air on. It's cooling down in there, so yeah, we're in good shape. But yeah, this is all in good shape. No rips. So I'm still wondering if this is original or because it's in such good shape. But yeah, all right, guys. Enough waffling. I'll be back with you. I just wanted, let me know in the comments. Should I do that, or at least attempt it? Because I look at it this way: if you attempt something and it doesn't work right, you didn't fail because you attempted it. A fail would be, I want to do that someday, and then chicken out and go, I don't think I can do it, and don't even try. That's a fail. But if you try something and it don't work, it's not a fail. It's a learning process. Okay, guys, so this is the battery, our old battery out of the boat. So I pulled the converter out and checked it. It seems to be working. It should be charging, and I checked the wires. So when I'm going to put a 7-way plug on the trucks, on both of them, and it will charge. I'll have to run a wire from the battery back to this thing, which will be on the back, but the battery's in the back seat of them things anyway. So, but it will be charging because I did check for continuity, and it is bringing power from that thing up into this. Now, when I put this on the charger, this battery had 7.6 something volts, so 7.5 volts. Let's turn it on and see what it's got now, and let's see if the converter's charging. And it's on 8.85, so it is charging. That's good. And another way we can tell is, I don't have that jumper hooked up, I'm just using the cables. Yeah, it's not, that jumper's not plugged in at all. I'm just using the cables to hold them wires on. Another way we can tell, if we come in here, I've got it on electric right now. If we flip this over, this switch down here, over to battery, and they wouldn't do that before. That battery was clear dead, so it's taking a charge. So that's good. Like I said, I only pulled this out just to check it and make sure this white wire was unplugged. So, but I did pull it out to check and make sure I was getting juice out of here. It's putting out 13.7 volts, which is enough to charge a battery. So, all right, guys, that's why this is out. So I would have had to pull that out anyway, but I pulled that out first, and that white wire was unplugged, which is the ground wire for the batteries. All right, guys, so I'm going to call that a day on this video, and the refrigerator is working flawlessly. I mean, you can tell it's old, but I don't know how well you can see, but if you look in there, it's frosted up. If you stick your tongue at it, it's going to stick. See how it looks white instead of silver? So that is working. As soon as you open it, you can feel that. So, yeah. Oh, I need to check this out. I haven't checked this. The pump does work. It will pull up out of that jug there. So I gotta hook the hose up to it and make sure there's no leaks when it has pressure on it. But other than that, everything else is working. We ordered 2 new lights. Ordered 2 new lights. They're LEDs, so that'll be even more forgiving on the battery. So that's cool. And these are, like I said, you know, the covers are all twisted. They don't fit in right. They're just old. This one, the switch doesn't work. This one, it does. It works fine. But, you know, they're the old incandescent bulbs. You know, just a 12-volt bulb like you would see in your tail light or something on a car. So, yeah. So Monkey ordered a couple of them. They'll be in a few days. And like I said, this ceiling's soft here. But if it's not leaking, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Maybe first of the year or something, I'll put some new plywood up. There's a soft spot, where is it? Right here. So really it's just plywood, and then you put that sticky stuff back up on. That's all it is. Everything else, all the walls are fine. There's no soft spot in any of the walls down below or anything. And I was up under there again today. I thought this felt soft, but I think it's just the camper giving, because there's no rot on that wood underneath there. So yeah, that's cool. This is where the air con will plug into. See, it's got that line in it right there. That's where it'll plug into when we're running 30 amp. Right now I'm just running 15 amps, so that's why I got the air conditioner plugged into a separate circuit into the house, and then the lights and the TV and the refrigerator is all running on electric 15 amps. So that's cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut you off here, and yeah, we're not going to restore this or anything. We're just going to pretty much keep it the way it is. A couple little things I want to do, but like, you know, any camper this old has at one time had leaks, but this is usually, this is from, let's see, okay, I thought that was a hole. It's not. This is from like when you put your camper down, when you put it away wet, you know, so that's what that is from. Fix that there. And then forgetting to open it up, just like a tent. If you put a tent away when it's wet, that's what you have. So, but I don't see any other signs of leaks. Like I said, that's from an old leak. But yeah, I see nothing around the air conditioner. I did pull this cover off and check. There's no signs of leakage around that. I still think we want to upgrade it, because I mean, it's working fine now, but like I said, if we get out somewhere a couple hours from the house and this thing pukes, you know, we're gonna be stuck in a hot camper. But these do unzip, and then you got your screens and stuff. This slides down, there's a screen there, and all these open up. So I mean, it'd be all right, just be like a tent. But it'd be nice if you're plugged in somewhere. If we're plugged in, we got power, it'd be nice, you know, to use this. But I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But as it is, I mean, it's good enough to go camping. Like I said, it needs the floor mopped. You know, that's something Monkey likes to do, and I'll let her do that. I am going to get a pump for the sink. So yeah, well, all right, guys. I'm going to say Shea Bear, the Myth, the Man, Legend. Off for now. I'm going to go in and edit this video and upload it for you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see if Monkey wants to stay out here tonight, or I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's almost 100 degrees right now. I don't know what the real feel is, so it's not 100 degrees in here. It's probably about 84, I would guess. If I was guessing, it'd be about 84 degrees in here, because remember, that air conditioner is 43 years old. I did find warranty papers on that. Of course, they're no good, but, and I checked the serial numbers. That's the original air conditioner. So that's pretty cool. But this is essentially a tent, you know, because this is all canvas. There's no insulation, and you know, you got these open. I think it's missing one curtain here. I don't know if that'll slide over more. And if it would cover that sunlight, you know, it'd be a lot cooler in here even then. So alright. Okay, cool. So anyway, catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if I should. Now, they do make a thing for a drill for that handle. My concern is, if I accidentally pull the drill out, this top's going to come flying back down. But we'll see. Let me know about that, if I should hook up a wiper motor of some sort and put in there. We'll see. Alright, guys. Shea Bear, the Myth, the Man, Legend. I'm gone for now. We'll see you guys in the next one. Monkey's daughter's going home tonight, so So it's good having a baby around again. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye bye everyone, take care.